And hello, everybody. It is Thursday, October 27th. One more Halloween episode today. No spooky sounds or noises, but we're going to give you a little bit of an update on what's left over from last week's list for you to do with your family this weekend. For Halloween, we're going to talk about some home winterizing tips. And as always, Jaden Bax is with me. And Jaden, what's the plan for your little ones on Halloween?
Well, we got them there. We did the first try-on of the Ghostbusters costume yesterday. So we had my older son is a Ghostbuster, and my little boy is a Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. So we're just going to be
Nice.
radiating cuteness everywhere we go, and maybe hit up Pumpkins After Dark, the zoo, maybe Heritage Park. We're gonna make it a big Halloween weekend this weekend.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That sounds good. Well, let's get to that's the winterizing tips. Let's go back to our stats here. So, what I will say about the stats this week is I'm seeing this all over the place with detached homes in particular. If you have a detached home, 500,000, 600,000, and if it's priced right on the first weekend, it is selling. Excuse me. Let's look at those new listings. Only 203. That's a massive decrease from last week, and our solds are up. Not the same as last week, but still higher than new listings. And by the way, for whatever reason, I'm now getting pendings. And I have a little hot sheet that I can see on my system. There were 222 detached homes that went pending in the last 7 days as well. So, if you can find a place to move to, now is an amazing time to sell. I think we're really gonna see, I think, a bit of a return to what happened in spring. Just my opinion. Certainly on the pricing side, maybe on not the lack of condition side, but I am seeing multiple offers and things are happening like that. So look at that sale to new listing ratio, 115. Days on market at 43. That's an average. I'm always a little hesitant to put a lot of emphasis into these average days on market because anecdotally, I'm seeing a lot that is less than that. So 201 price reduction, 1,709 total detached listings, down again from last week. And then our total active listings at 3,412. So yeah, really, really, really interesting there. And then if we look at last year, again, not a surprise, total sales, they're down significantly, 20% down. New listings down 5, almost 6%. Active listings still at that 20% down. And then our pendings crazy through the roof. As you can see, if there was 222 detached pendings, that's a lot of pendings in our other segments there as well. Again, median average prices, I'm not really going to touch on those. And there's the days on market. So Jaden, over to you. There was a interest rate increase yesterday. I'm sure you're going to walk us through that.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm actually coming to be a ray of sunshine about it. It's we had our fixed swap, but then the prime was put up by half a point by the Bank of Canada yesterday, so 0.5%. And I think that's hugely positive. Our financial advisor in our BNI chapter last night talked about it as well. The huge expectation was that we were looking at another 0.75% hike, and so the fact that they're seeing inflation come under control. They were down to 6 point something percent with inflation, where we were at 8.5% a month ago. That they have decided not to go for this jumbo hike because they have been one of the most aggressive central banks in the world at hitting inflation. The fact that they were comfortable going at just 0.5% says to me that we are getting near the downhill curve of this thing, right? So. I think they feel that the policy is working, and I think now that they're a little bit scared about maybe if they push too far and really pushing us into a recession, right? So that's all good news to me. Had a great longtime client call me yesterday. Was talking to an older gentleman that said lock in now because we're going to 12, 15, 18% because he's lived through it in the 80s. And I said to her, listen, like, in my opinion, in this day and age, for the way that our economy is structured, that is impossible. And the reason why is look at the level of consumer debt in the 80s. How many people were financing vehicles, had multiple credit cards and lines of credit, were financing furniture, financing TVs, maybe financing your fridge. I don't know. How many people had that many things on finance? It's just a different world that we live in. So You know, if we're at 12% interest, our economy is in total shambles, and you've got bigger problems than just your mortgage interest rate, right?
Yeah. And so I wanted to touch on this a little bit too. And I talked about this at our networking meeting was, you know, I had a question right before the meeting. It's like, well, should people be buying right now with the interest rates they are? So here's my general feeling on it. So can you afford the payment? And we have talked about this before. Can you afford the payment? If so, here's what will happen. Either the rates will go up and you've locked in at a lower rate, or B, talk to Jaden and figure out a way. And if they go down, you refinance, and that's why you talk to Jaden, and he has options that are not going to penalize you like a freight train coming down the tracks when you need to get out of that mortgage, and you refinance in a year or two, right? So number one, can you afford the payment on whatever house that is? Okay, great. So is that still better than renting? Absolutely. You're not paying off somebody else's mortgage, because the old theory was, okay, you're going to rent, and the difference in rent payment to mortgage payment, you're going to save for a down payment. I think those days are gone. They have left like the Oilers when we beat them on Saturday night. They're out of town, right? They're gone. You know, if you wanted to get a detached home, rent a detached home, I mean, we should pull up Rent Faster next week just for a comparison. But my guess would be your $2,500 a month for what you may be able to get for, I don't know, $2,200 for a mortgage payment. So that all depends on if you've saved your down payment. But the point being is the old days of low rent payments and then taking the difference between that and your mortgage payment and saving that as a down payment, again, I think are out the window. So that's my feeling on should you buy now or wait. So that is that. Any thoughts on that, Jaden?
No, absolutely, you're right, and I think especially like when you talk with if you're comfortable, and I did this with a lot of my variable clients in the spring. If you're comfortable with that payment, if you're comfortable with that payment plus 20%, even better. Start doing the prepayment, and then if they go up slightly, you're okay. And then when it goes down, you're just hammering those payments away, right? So
Yeah.
there's a lot of different strategies to work on it, right?
Yeah, for sure. So here's kind of what I won't say leftover. There's still some great events. Pumpkins After Dark. Definitely book your tickets online for that, because I know that it did sell out last year. And then we've got the Granary Road Harvest Days. We've got Mystery at the Museum still happening. Ghouls Night Out, which Jaden is going to go to, and I'm sure tell me about. I don't know. Maybe he might. And then Zubu happening this weekend as well. So let's talk a little bit about home winterizing tips. We promised we would do this last week. So this is the obvious one, but it is amazing to me when I show homes how many people don't do this. So you're going to find the shut off for your exterior taps, turn it to the off position, go outside, and then drain that tap. Make sure there's no water in the tap. Obviously, if you can, take those hoses off, put them somewhere warm so they don't freeze up. This is a good one. This is something you would need to hire out. We have a great referral partner in our chapter, our networking chapter. We can send you over to a roof inspection where you want to secure any loose shingles. We know we get the blizzards, we get the high winds like we're having today. This is number 3 is something I did a few years ago when I moved into the house that I am in. The back door, I mean, it was just not sealing very well. Go to Lowe's, you get the weather stripping, you cut it to size, and it just really kind of clicks into the track. So it's a super easy thing to do that can not only save you comfort, but also some money because you're not having heat go out the door. Service your furnace, replace the filter at a bare minimum. Servicing a furnace is never a bad thing to do. They're going to be able to just get it all tip-top condition. And we know that furnaces that are serviced just last longer. And then this 5th one, I also had to do this when I moved into the house. The home inspection showed that there was a lack of insulation in one portion of the attic. So that is a great thing to do. It has helped immensely. So that area that we had to have done was right over top of our dining room and kitchen, and which also has a lot of windows in it, right? So you combine those two, lack of insulation and a ton of windows, and that was a massive thing to help with the warmth on the main floor and things like that. So that is some winterizing tips for you. That
Love it. And stock up on your fire.
What's that?
Stock up on your fire. You got to stock up on your firewood as well, right?
Yes, that's right. Well, we do have a wood burning fireplace, so that if you do have one of those still, and you have or a wood stove, yeah, you could do that. And the Flames are going to beat the Oilers Saturday night, right, Jaden?
100%. Like that's I will put money on it. I'm not a betting man, but I will put money on it just because I'm so sure of it.
Sounds good. All right. Well, everyone have a great weekend. Enjoy Halloween on Monday and all the parties this weekend. And we will talk to you all in 7 days.